Alright, this is my monthly reflection video for May of 2024. Even though at the time of making this video it is close to the end of June, I decided to make this video anyways because I thought that it would be important. I have went a while without making videos because of a lack of energy as well as having a lot of things going on. Specifically in May, I had a lot of unpleasant things that happened and a lot of things that took up my time and energy. And in this video, I would like to talk more about that. I'd like to be able to organize my thoughts better so that hopefully I can make sense of what's happened in my life recently and be able to remember things better. Anyways, recently I've been experiencing certain physical problems, and in May at some point I had a psychiatry appointment. However, I don't think I got much help because I think I experienced something known as medical gaslighting. I was told by my psychiatrist that she thought that the symptoms that I had described to her were mainly caused by my anxiety, which I do not agree with that. I have had a lot of physical and mental problems that don't really seem to have much of a cause, even though I've gotten a lot of help with my depression and my ADHD. I've still suffered from a lot of physical and mental issues, and my anxiety doesn't seem to get in my way nearly as much anymore. So I highly doubt that these physical and mental problems getting worse over time, I highly doubt that that has anything to do with my anxiety, even though my anxiety can certainly at times make those things worse. There is no way that my anxiety can be the only cause to all of those issues, especially since my medicine has helped me out a lot and continues to help me out a lot, yet I still have issues that make my life very difficult at times. And something that was really unpleasant that happened during the month of May. My grandpa on my mother's side of the family, I called him Papaw. He passed away and I had to go to his funeral, and that was an unpleasant experience because I don't process grief of a lost loved one, I don't tend to process grief in a way that people usually do. I tend to be numb and not really feel much of anything while at the funeral of a loved one. And if I do feel anything, it's usually related to anxiety. But I've learned that I tend to do my grieving either before the person passes away or even after they've already passed away and after the funeral and whatnot is already taken care of. I tend to either grieve the loss of a loved one either really early or really late. Sometimes maybe even both. And I feel really uncomfortable being at funerals. I know a lot of people probably feel very uncomfortable at funerals, but that took a lot of energy, and not long after the funeral, I think the Sunday after, if I'm remembering correctly, maybe even the second Sunday after the funeral, I'm not for sure, I can't remember. At some point after that funeral, I had started using a cane because I've been having difficulty with maintaining my balance, and I've had difficulties with walking. And I've been having those difficulties for a long time, except they've kept getting worse, and due to pride and fear of criticism, fear of judgment, fear of embarrassment, fear of questions, things like that, I avoided using a cane for a long time. And then I thought, well, maybe I'll have a lot more energy, maybe I'll have a lot less pain, maybe life will become a lot easier if I finally start using a cane. So at some point during the month of May, I started using a cane. Ever since, I've continued to use a cane, and I've noticed improvements with my memory, my physical strength, my mood, my confidence. I've been having a lot less pain. I've been able to concentrate without having as much difficulty. I've been able to not have to disassociate as much. I've been able to do certain things that I wanted to be able to do, rather than just having time for things that I have to do. So I've been able to at least somewhat avoid being stuck in survival mode. Anyways, this is my cane. I don't know where my mom got it, but she said that somebody had given it to her at some point, and so she gave it to me, and luckily I have it because it helps me out a lot. And luckily I am no longer embarrassed to have to use it because I understand that it is a mobility aid that I need. And there's no point in me being stubborn about using it because it doesn't matter what other people think about me using it. What matters is that it helps me out a lot and that I'm actually willing to use it. And even if I may not be getting the medical help that I would like to get, at least me learning a lot about my symptoms and me learning a lot about how to manage them as best as I can, and me using my cane, those things help me out a lot. And I'm hoping that maybe as I understand my symptoms better and learn how to express them better, I might be able to explain them to my doctors and actually get the help I need eventually. And I've been suspecting for a while now that I might have this thing called FND. FND is functional neurological disorder. It is a medical condition in which there is a problem with the functioning of the nervous system and how the brain and body sends and or receives signals rather than a structural disease process such as multiple sclerosis or stroke. Before I found out about FND, I learned about multiple sclerosis and was afraid that I might have that, especially because, according to my mother, her biological mother had multiple sclerosis, and I'm not certain about what things can be passed down genetically, so that was a concern. And then when I found out about FND, I was hoping that instead of multiple sclerosis, that I might have FND instead, because multiple sclerosis, it can lead to lots of health complications that could potentially result in death or even certain problems with memory that might resemble dementia, and that scared me a lot. And so I was also concerned for a long time that I was going to maybe have a stroke at work, because I kept having panic attacks that kept getting worse, and I started to have chest pain at some point that became more frequent over time. And so I've learned that FND can make a person have symptoms that are similar to stroke symptoms. The symptoms that I have experienced, that according to the things I have looked up, the symptoms I've experienced are potential symptoms of FND. The symptoms I have experienced are tics, such as motor and verbal tics, paralysis. I've specifically experienced paralysis of limbs or even my vocal cords at times. I have experienced weakness of parts of my body. I have experienced brain fog and memory problems. I've experienced difficulty walking, loss of balance, seizures. And what I mean by seizures, I'm referring to the non-epileptic seizures. I do not have epilepsy, but I instead have certain kinds of seizures that cause me to sometimes randomly go unconscious without realizing it, and I could be in the middle of working or speaking and just freeze out of nowhere, and then continue where I left off without noticing after the seizures end. I have experienced sensitivity to light. Oftentimes I have trouble keeping my eyes open when I am outside. I also have troubles with light causing me to get dizzy or experience weakness of limbs. I have had hearing problems, vision problems, speech problems. As far as hearing problems, sometimes out of nowhere, I can hardly hear what a person is saying for no apparent reason. Sometimes with vision problems, I randomly have one of my eyes get really blurry for no apparent reason. Sometimes with speaking, I randomly stutter a lot or mix up words or have difficulties with remembering words. I experience numbness, whether it be of limbs or my face or my fingertips. Sometimes I can't even feel my privates, which has made it difficult for me to properly do my business in the restroom. I've also had digestive issues. I've had chronic pain. So I've pretty much had random places of my body hurt for no apparent reason. Lots of times it is nerve pain, the kind of pain that comes along with neuropathy. I've experienced chronic fatigue, breathing problems, excessive sweating, sensitivity to heat, abnormal heart rate, difficulty swallowing, high blood pressure, migraines, and at times insomnia. So I know I said a lot, but yeah, a lot of annoying symptoms I have been experiencing, and they have been getting worse over time. And FND is considered a rare disease. Anyways, I've been trying to continue to enjoy my time and try to be at peace despite these issues that I talked about in this video. But anyways, that's it for this video. And there was something I was wanting to say before I ended the video, but I cannot remember what it is that I wanted to say. It's something that I had said at the end of some of my most recent videos. Oh yeah, okay. So there was this thing that one of my friends had told me that he has said to some of his friends before. He had said, "I love you guys in the appropriate way," or "I love you guys in the appropriate manner." How that had gotten brought up to me in a conversation once a while ago was that due to the effects of my medicine, I was feeling very bubbly and wanting to tell my friends that I really cared about them a lot. But I had told them that I loved them, but that seemed to be somewhat awkward for them and me, and also somewhat embarrassing. So my friend had brought up that in situations that I would like to tell my friends that I love them, I should say, "I love you guys" in the appropriate way. But anyways, I didn't mean to let the video continue on for this long. I need to actually get over to my dad's place so I can eat dinner and hopefully get to play some video games before having to go to bed. And I've had to do a lot of chores today. It's been a very long day for me. Anyways, I know earlier in the video I had said that that was it for this video, but then I was trying to remember what I wanted to say besides that, and then I couldn't remember until after I had thought about it for a bit. Anyways, hope that maybe next month I might be able to make more videos. Hopefully, with how I've been living my life recently, hopefully I might have enough energy for that. I don't know. Anyways, I love you guys in the appropriate way, and that's it for this video. Peace.